Hey, what is going on? It's your boy Fermi right here, back with you, the Music Producers Treasure Box podcast. You were just tuning in to a track from my man, Hoffy Beats, and what he did right there was take some of my samples, my loops, and he flipped them into a trap style beat. Him and I are collaborating on some tracks that rappers will be able to license, and you will be hearing more about that project soon. But today I am super amped up, super excited, because what I am bringing to you right now is an extra special treat. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter episode because honestly, initially, this was not even recorded as a part of my podcast. I had recently linked up for a 15-minute session with one of the legends of digital marketing, Steven Larsen. I had fallen in love, quite frankly, with the way he teaches and explains marketing in this era during the One Funnel Away challenge. You guys have seen me talk about that in the past on this show, and I still invite you to head over to fermimusic.com/funnel and sign up for the challenge and get my bonuses, okay? It's $100. It's a small expense, though, for what you will learn about marketing. And while this marketing course is not strictly about music, it's about marketing. And what I found is that marketing is everything, whether you're a musician, an artist, selling info products, or in software. Steven Larsen dropped some gems on us today. And there were even some moments during the interview where I got to tell y'all, I hesitated about sharing it. A, because these are some top secret things that, I'm not sure if everyone's out there ready to handle right now. But B, to be honest and real with y'all, it's because I was a little bit nervous during this interview. I'm telling you, this guy is legendary and one of the biggest names we've had on the show so far. A key thing that he spoke about was that ideas sell the most, right? The value added by artist guys is immense. And I know that it can be challenging. We've all heard of that moniker, that trope, if you will, of the starving artists. But in 2019, 2020, and beyond, we do not need to be victim to that mindset. It's time to change it up and realize that creative people add the most value. It can seem impossible. It can seem insurmountable. But when you think about why certain actors and artists make millions while others make nothing, you have to understand it's all about the art of storytelling and how their ideas are changing the world. And your ideas can do the same, but you have got to set up your unique value proposition and your offer in the right way. The offer is where it is at. Steven Larsen is actually known for his offer creation, and it's why I'm super excited to bring him on the show today. While the conversation is brief, there's a lot more information available about him in the One Funnel Away challenge, online, and even as his own podcast. His event, which he puts on every year, is called OfferMind, which should give you an idea about how this guy thinks. All right, with that being said, let's get into the interview right here with Steven J. Larsen. Let's go. Like I said, this might be part coaching session and part interview. I've seen so much video of you. I'm curious to hear, how do you feel like artists can use funnel building and offer creation to their advantage?
The exact same way anyone else would. I think the mistake is thinking it's different. It's a product like anything else. One of my early students from the 2 Comma Club coaching program, so when I helped create the first 2 Comma Club coaching program, sitting next to Russell there, and I was the only coach. And it was a lot of work because there's 600 students and it was just me. And, I had every scenario you can imagine. People come from all these backgrounds and stuff. And, it's interesting because we had one guy come in and he was a rapper. And he's like, how do I use this? He's like, I keep selling my CDs to these labels, but they're not really marketing it. And then when they do, it's like, I don't get any money from it. And so what he learned how to do was sell his albums on his own. And, that guy makes so much money from his funnel. It's ridiculous. He actually has done so well with it, with the funnel, selling his stuff that Facebook featured him on their ads platform. And on anyways, it's super cool. So his name's Chris Greenwood. He's awesome. I'd look him up and watch him as well, but totally 100%, man. Yeah, you can definitely use it.
Yeah. I just always felt like being an artist was selfish in certain ways because you have to take that time for yourself. I think I got brainwashed a little bit by people around me that felt that way, right? Where maybe they wanted the attention. It was more of an attention war. Because as a musician especially, or maybe a visual artist, painter, photographer, there's so much time. And even as a funnel builder, honestly, right? There's so much time where you just need to be like, hold on, everybody quiet down, close the doors, shut the windows, maybe turn on some music and just hunker down and do the work. But really, there's also so much that you give back to the world that's creative, right? So inspiration, energy, motivation, when people hear the songs in my case. Right now, I feel like we're having like a shift in consciousness or the shift in society or something where people want services. People want to know how it relates to them. So I guess that's something I'm struggling with. And I know a lot of like other creators would struggle with. This guy, Chris Green, he's selling his own music, or is there like some kind of additional offers?
It's his own music, just his albums.
Can you expand on it a little bit? I'm just basically blown away by that,
He built a mini webinar funnel. And so it's a small webinar script, just like any product, and tells the story behind it, created this community around it, and he uses the funnel to, and he didn't have a community, not that much. And so he just learned how to build a funnel and sold his music inside the funnel instead of handing it over to someone else.
So it really can't work anyway.
Dude, we've used this to sell toilet paper. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's sales. It's marketing. Yeah.
I guess I'm making it bigger than it needs to be then.
It's all good. We've all done that. I've totally done it too.
Yeah. Like going through the 30-day challenge and the book actually is amazing. Gives you a lot of good ideas. But I feel like sometimes I will go to the side and try to do something that is like peripheral to what I really like doing. And then if I imagined a day where I didn't have to worry about any income coming in because it was all set, what would I do? Well, it would just be making the music and trying to make that next inspirational jam for somebody.
Sure. Yeah.
But in the meantime, I'm over here like, well, how do I create a class for that? A course? How do I create a service where it's like a mixing, mastering service and there's a funnel driving to that or whatnot?
What do you think?
Honestly, I think you could automate a lot of those things and do them all.
That's true.
Right? With VAs and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can definitely do that. I've sold many courses that aren't built yet. And the audience knows that, no bait and switch.
Like I'm still in the infant stages for funnel building. How important is it that you build a lot of funnels? Like I've read that you've done over 500 funnels just when you're at Clickfunnels. Like do you get better over time, or is it not?
The success doesn't come from how good of a funnel builder you are. Success comes from how good of an offer you create with what message sells it. I don't build my funnels anymore. I don't write my copy. I don't do my video. Because that's not where you make the money. You make the money by being the marketer. And marketers just creating messages and offers. Right. The rest of it, it's like we pulled the top 100 grossing funnels in ClickFunnels and looked at them. They were the most ugly funnels I've seen in my life.
Yeah.
Because that's not how things sell. Design is not what matters.
Definitely conscious of that, having a design background. I'm not trying to make the most beautiful funnels.
Sure.
That's what I hear you guys say, that the ugly ones are often the winners. For whatever reason.
Yeah.
Is that like relatability or something? I mean, what is that, do you think?
There's a lot of elements to it, we think, but we think it's because of page load. It takes so long to load a page like that there's no time across the world or somewhere else, it's just forever. Someone loads some background image up and it's like 3 megs and it's way too slow for a page to load. And so after, you got 6 seconds average attention span now, Anyway, so just keep it simple, super simple.
A guy I'm a really big fan of is Myron Golden. I know he was on your podcast show. I saw him speak live, luckily, back in San Diego about a month or 2 ago. And his whole value chain that he has, it's not a value stack, I don't know what you would call it, but how he really has imagination at the top resource is really encouraging, I guess, to a creative. So the way that he does all that, I think it kind of also relates to what you're saying. So if you can imagine an offer, if you can imagine kind of the right phrases and things, then you're going to win. And it doesn't come down to how many actual funnels you build, because that's more of the muscle manual labor stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very true. If you go in and you start building, his whole point with that is that it's ideas that sell the most, make the most money. So ideas, if you can sit back and not just imagination, but it's selling an idea. And if you can inspire others with an idea, it's the best way to get paid the most money. And you have to match that with an audience who has a lot of money who's willing to spend it, though.
Right.
And so my biggest encouragement to anybody, regardless of what they're in, is to learn how to sell expensive things to people with money. And so people in the music industry are like, well, what is that? How does that work for me? Well, you can still sell your music, but also have the option to go sell a workshop to somebody wishing they could do what you do.
Right.
For $5,000 and they come out for 2 days with you, and have 10 people come. Yeah. And, you could, there's a lot of things you can still put inside of that. So It's like the magic.
Basically some masterminding, some workshops, things like that. And that's kind of how I stumbled upon you, actually. I got into digital marketing mayhem, if you will, a couple of months ago through, I think, Dean and Tony's like KBB course. I met Brian Delaney. That's where Myron Golden was speaking at Brian and Nick's thing down in San Diego.
He spoke at mine about 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Myron.
And luckily fell into the One Funnel Away challenge. You guys obviously are good at marketing, so you caught me. And yeah, it's just like the whole network and all the algorithms caught me up in that. But what do you feel like, I'm curious for you, like what's your vision? Like what are you working toward?
What's motivating me is when I was in college and I was going through and getting my marketing degree, I realized that there are two worlds of marketing. Mm-hmm. The first world of marketing is general advertising, and it's what I was taught in my degree. And it is dumb marketing. It's let's go to a sports stadium and just have our logo floating around the outside. Okay. You can't track the revenue from that. That's dumb money. Yeah. A lot of record people do that. Yeah. They just put your name out there. It's like, that is stupid. But, Russell and I were walking through an airport about a month ago, and we look up and we see a banner from Zoom, and they're all excited because they got like their 7th round of funding now. Oh, yeah. And what they go spend the money on is wrapping airport pillars with their logo. No call to action, no website, no benefits, only features, like dumbest waste of money on the planet. Right. What motivates me is the second world of marketing, which is called direct response marketing. And these two worlds are kind of colliding, and they have been for the last 60 years. And direct response marketers measure their dollars. I know how much it costs me to generate a $1,000 sale right now. Mm-hmm. I spend $150 to $200. I get $1,000 in return. Who wouldn't do that as fast as they possibly could, right? And so because it's measurable, I can double down. What motivates me is also there's two worlds in entrepreneurship. The first world of entrepreneurship is 100% about going and getting VC funding. Go get a business loan. Get someone who's an investor, who's going to back the business. Yeah. Dumbest move on the planet. I don't have control of it. I don't have, I give up lots of control usually. And it's a blanket statement, but usually it's like not good for the entrepreneur and not good for the business. Maybe. Yeah. So the second world is just this group of people who knows how to build a funnel, a very standard one funnel away style front end funnel. Most funnel software doesn't use a funnel to sell their funnel software. It's ridiculous. And so what motivates me is I am very against what is called the J curve. The J curve is where you go get that VC funding and you go into debt, and you're supposed to make money back, in 3 to 5 years, be profitable, and then 10 to 15 or maybe even 20, that's when you actually cash out to the stock market and make all your cash. And it's like, but it's with golden handcuffs, and it takes your soul. And you see so many people, it's in my opinion, it's no way to live, and ruins entrepreneurship. And you really don't get much further because of it. So what motivates me is I'm fighting that. I'm killing the J curve actively. I own killthejcurve.com. Nothing's built there yet, but we're going to be aggressive. And then what also motivates me is I am so sick of this socialism that is snaking through our society right now. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I'm the capitalist pig. And I am out loud and proud about it. And I am actively making people uncomfortable with the conversation that is already happening, but I'm just riding the wave and telling people, don't you dare try to expect the government to take care of you. That should not be your plan. I got people I know in the past who've they won't go work another few hours because otherwise they lose their food stamps. It's cut it out. I believe that's wrong. Not unfortunate, wrong. I think it's not right. And I think that people need to sack up a little and go learn how to make some money and take care of their own. And I understand everyone's got different backgrounds and such, but what motivates me is going out and being a voice for a conversation that's already going on, and writing that and showing them when you are ready to do this, by the way, beware. There's two worlds of entrepreneurship. Don't get sucked into the wrong one. Also, there's two worlds of marketing. Don't get sucked into that one either. Yeah. Measure the dollars, build a front end funnel, and suddenly it's holy crap, these chains break. And a lot of people don't even know they were there. I heard a quote about Harriet Tubman this morning. Mm-hmm. And Harriet Tubman said, I've saved 1,000 slaves, but I would have saved 1,000 more if they knew they were slaves. Mm. Wow. That's big. Most people don't know that what they're doing, and if they love doing what they are, that's great. What I'm saying is there's people who don't even know that there's another option, and very rare to do what I've done in the last year and a half, and I know that. But like, let's say it takes 3 years, darn, and it goes in and it helps people understand like there's a lot more options out there. I want people to not think about money.
Okay.
If they can not think about money, they start doing all the things that they were really meant to go do. But everyone's so focused on like how to make the cash, and the value of the dollar is going down. We're being taxed harder than we ever have. And it's like there's so much that's going on. The cost of living's never been as high as it has in the last 10 years, with less minimum wage, which has hardly ever gone up. It's like you look at everything that's happening aside there, everyone's focused on money, and they should.
Yeah.
But it's in the survival space rather than a thrive space.
Absolutely.
And if I can get them to earn a little bit of extra cash, they turn back around and say, what am I supposed to do now? Because you will learn quick that money does not make you happy and is not fulfilling, but it does buy time. And so crap, what would I do? What would humanity do? And what good could happen if we're not thinking so much about cash? That motivates me.
Absolutely. Wow. You're on fire right there. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And now the capitalist pig stuff makes a lot more sense to why you're always wearing that.
Yeah.
And I love her quote. So thanks for sharing that. The other quote I was kind of thinking about when you were saying that is around more fear mentality, though, that a lot of people will choose to live in disappointment rather than, possibly disappointing themselves if they fail. But the thing is, they don't even try because they're just afraid of disappointment, but they're already in it. And I'm not just calling other people out. I'm in that boat sometimes, right?
Sure. I was too for a while.
Yeah. But definitely through just kind of the whole first week of One Funnel Away, that whole mindset shift, really appreciated that portion because I think it all relates to this and all starts to unshackle the chain, so to say. So appreciate that.
Absolutely.
All right. I want to respect your time. I know you probably got about 5 minutes to your next one.
Yeah.
But seriously, just the fact that you have the website and that I was able to get on your calendar, I do appreciate it so much. Woke up bright and early at 7 a.m. for you, and I couldn't have asked for more insights. Thank you.
It's awesome, man. Thanks so much.
Woo. All right. Well, that is about the least cool I've sounded on a podcast episode yet. But can you blame me, right? I was basically in the shadow of a giant right there as he talked about offer creation and the value of building your funnel. A lot of people will joke and they've heard that the one funnel away thing is a bit of a trope at this point and played out. But I've got to tell you, there is no doubt that building your funnel and building a valuable offer is the way that any marketer or any person can get their brand out there and make more sales. And it's not just about selling for the sake of selling, right? As you study more about digital marketing, what you have to understand is that when you add value to your customers, you are doing them a disservice if you do not sell them what it is that you have, right? If you truly believe that what you have is valuable and will change their life, will help them on their journey, whether that's in music or in something else, how could you hold that back? That would just be wrong. If you want to learn more about offer creation and how you can also build your funnels, go to FERMImusic.com/funnel and sign up for the One Funnel Away challenge. It actually has some unique bonuses where I am going to help you out personally figuring out this process yourself. Now check it out. Another thing I want to do is invite you right now to my new link, FERMImusic.com/marketer, where you can sign up for my mailing list and actually be a part of my beta test for a new course that I have coming out in 2020 that is called the Music Marketer Academy. This is going to break down a lot of the things that they do in digital marketing, in email automation, in Instagram and social media marketing that can help you out specifically as the musician, as the music producer or performer. Check it out right now, FERMImusic.com/marketer. Now, before I go, I really just want to remind you all, we keep hearing this keyword, this key term thrown around all over the place right now. You've probably seen it in your social media feeds about funnels. And when you hear that, I just want you to think about customer journey, right? Don't make it bigger or more mysterious than what it is. Just think about when people come to your brand, what is it that you represent and how do you walk them through the process to understand who you are and what you have to offer them? You know, when they come to you, do they understand what kind of artist you are? Are you a musician that does hip hop, does folk, is creating a new style that's more futuristic? When they look at your style, at your logo, what comes across, that customer journey, and then how you offer them and sell them things along the way is your funnel. It's as simple as that. That's the definition. All right. With that being said, I want to invite you all one more time, FERMImusic.com/marketer. Sign up for that mailing list. Be a part of the beta test. And I will see you guys next week with some more musical artists on the show. I got some great episodes coming up. Peace. I love y'all.